And now it's time for Ag on 8, where we share ag news impacting you. Well, right now, some farmers in Carroll County, Illinois, are filing insurance claims for damaged crops. Fred Tipton is a farmer near Savannah, and he tells News 8 about 70% of his corn and soybeans were hit by hail and wind. Now, this happened about 2 weeks ago, the day before storms flooded areas of the Quad Cities. Now, in one spot of about 100 acres, Tipton has lost 50% of his crop. He says it's the worst crop damage he's seen on his farm. Now, also locally, an event in Prophetstown is paying tribute to a young man, and it's also helping students passionate about agriculture. The Make a Farmer Foundation Festival honors Jaden Hansen. Hansen was one of 3 boys killed in a crash in Tampico in March 2024. Now, he was passionate about farming, mechanics, and John Deere, and also active in FFA and sports. Jaden's mom and dad joined us in studio on Friday, and they say Jaden was hard to get out of a tractor. Now, they're hoping his memory will help others get involved in agriculture. Well, thank you both so much for being here today.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. Well, Megan, just tell me how this Farmer Foundation first got started.
Well, the accident happened, and then actually Austin's brother-in-law,
Jaden's uncle that he spent
Yes.
a lot of time with, he decided that we needed to do something and just to keep his memory alive and be able to give back to the community.
For sure. And we were just talking a little bit about Jaden a second ago and his love for farming. Both of you, tell me some of his memories maybe growing up and how he enjoyed that.
He was hard to get out of a tractor. That was definitely where he loved to be all the time, either on a tractor, in a tractor. Would always ask for rides. He would make his mom bring him out to me, and
Yes.
he'd spend all day with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
For sure. And we have some great footage there that you're able to send over, which
Yes.
is so cool to see for sure. And so tell me, obviously this foundation started, and what's the main goal here?
To hopefully to be able to provide scholarships for graduating students that are wanting to go into the ag industry. It might be a little bit wider variety than that, but then we also want to help our local schools with other areas that they might need help in, like their ag department or their FFA, the baseball team, just pretty much
Wood shop class,
Wood
just
shop, yes.
anything
Anything.
that Jaden was involved in,
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
we could see him doing. That's our goal, is to give back and kind of help the area schools around, and just help kids, give kids a start with their future and what they want to do.
For sure. And so this event's coming up in 2 weeks, and it's the first event. First, Megan, can you tell me some of the things that are going to be going on that people can get excited about?
So we're going to start the day with a car, truck, and tractor show, along with a craft show. There will be a kids area, food vendors all day. My husband is working on putting live music together for all day. We have a band for our beer garden that we're also having. The band is called Next Thing Smokin'. So they will be performing from 6 to 10.
Yep.
And then we're also having a bags tournament. Oh my gosh, help me out here.
Yeah, there's
So
bounce.
Lots of good
Yes,
stuff. Oh my
yes. The
goodness.
bags tournament. There's bounce houses for kids. Farmhouse Bounce is helping us out with that.
There will be a dunk tank.
There'll be a dunk tank there.
Perfect.
50-50 raffles. We were donated a side-by-side from Freedom
Wow.
Motorsports in Dixon. They 100% gave it to us in hopes to sell raffle tickets for that, and completely free giveaway. So they're huge help. And there's just a lot going on. We have live auction with some big ticket items. A lot of silent auction items have been given to us, and it's going to be a full day.
Wow.
Very
food
full day.
trucks, yeah, there's food trucks and snow cone truck and just stuff for everybody to do.
It sure sounds like
Our plan was to keep it small this year.
it. Doesn't sound like that's
No,
what happened.
not at all. We're very excited.
Yes.
Very excited to be able to do this, and
A lot of work got put into it, a lot of hours, but we're hoping for a beautiful day with good weather, and
Yes.
hope to see a lot of people there.
For sure. And wow, that just sounds like a packed day. And you've talked about people donating things and an auction and all this stuff. What's been the community support for this event and just during this time?
it's been great. We actually have a lot of items for our silent auction. We have a lot of items for our live auction. We raised quite a bit of the sponsorship money just to support that we will be able to give one, if not more, scholarships and help the school in many ways this year, luckily.
The city of Provincetown has helped out huge. Tampico, Linden, just the surrounding area,
And just the members of our community themselves, the school, just the other parents, the other students, everyone since the day of the accident has just been absolutely incredible.
They've all came together very well and helped us out and with whatever we need.
Yes.
It's been great.
Wow. Well, I'm sure you're going to have a great turnout. I mean, do you have any idea how many people you might expect?
Not a clue.
A lot, hopefully.
We're hoping to
Yes.
expect a lot, yes.
Yes.
And it's downtown Provincetown. Where is it exactly?
Yep. Main Street in Provincetown will be shut down from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the car, truck, and tractor show. And then once the highway opens back up, when that's over at noon or 2 o'clock, then everybody will kind of filter into the park, Eclipse Square, the Memorial Park, where the bags tournament will be, the bounce house for kids, the live auction, all of that stuff.
Wow,
Yep.
such a busy day. Oh,
Yes.
great. Well, I just want to thank you both for coming in, talking
Yeah,
with us,
thanks for
sharing your
having
about
us.
Jaden, and just, I'm super excited to see how this continues to grow and all the people that you help.
Yes.
We're excited for many more years.
Nationally, a trade deal has been struck with Japan. The White House saying it will boost demand for numerous products farmers grow. Now, the agreement means Japan will purchase $8 billion in goods from the U.S. That includes things like corn, soybeans, fertilizer, ethanol, and sustainable aviation fuel. Rice farmers will likely see the biggest boost, Japan importing 75% more rice than before that deal was reached. Well, there are less cattle in the U.S. than there were just 2 years ago. Beef prices also hitting record highs in the grocery store. However, a report from Friday shows an increase in cattle numbers from January, but that figure from the start of the year was the lowest number since the 1950s. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's cattle inventory shows a 1% drop from its last July report. Now, that was released in 2023. Overall, there's about 94 million head of cattle in the U.S. right now. Well, speaking of cattle, AI can be a pretty powerful tool. And now it's helping cattlemen. Now take a look there at your screen. You can see an app using AI to identify the weight of cattle out in the field. Now it's all part of the new app called Frontiers Market, and it has about 31,000 downloads from Apple. And it's why I caught up with Evan Wonsick, the company's CEO, to learn what it means for local livestock owners. Well, first, we just saw this little video that was starting there, but I want to hear from you, how does this exactly work?
Short version is artificial intelligence, which is the key piece of technology here that is in this product. Is almost like a child. The more you teach it, the more it learns, the smarter it gets. So just like a 30+ year cattle veteran, our AI can weigh cattle. And in the future, and still today, we're working on traceability from a single photo or image. And so basically you download our mobile app, take a single video, and you're off to the races being able to weigh, track, and value those animals.
Okay, so yes, right now you said this can do weight, but you said in the future traceability, like tell them the breed, is that kind of what that is?
Traceability is actually, we use a different set of technologies. So the same way you unlock your iPhone or Android device is the same technology we bake into the photo. So that same unique way that you can only unlock your iPhone is the same piece of information that we use to feed our AI models. And so we have today a bunch of supply chain partners from seed stock to cow calf to big feed yards, where when those cattle get taken photos of across the entire value chain, we then have a complete chain of custody.
Wow, so it's kind of just a database too, is that correct?
That's right, man. Every single time somebody uses that product, we then enter them into a database, which is completely secure. That data belongs to the rancher, and it allows us to get more value for that rancher or that cattleman.
And this seems very innovative. Is this a pretty new technology that you're using?
I would say that artificial intelligence has been around for almost 2 decades now, if not longer. I've been building it in this space since 2015. I accidentally fell into the sector. But in short, our approach is, so historically, a lot of artificial intelligence needs a lot of sensors. This is just an image, just photos.
And this app, I mean, it came out not too long ago, is that right?
Yes, ma'am. We just did a soft launch roughly about 3 months ago. So it will break, just like any kid. When he colors outside the lines, you gotta tell it to color in the lines. So as people use it and they help to teach it to get the answers right, I hope we can get that partnership from our community.
Okay, and you said, maybe you're newer to the cattle industry. I mean, what made you, as a co-founder, want to invest in this technology and create this product?
I was holding my firstborn son, who I actually named after Augustus Maverick in the cattle industry after I was doing a bunch of research in the space. And it's very clear at that point in time when I was trying to decide what next company I was going to start. And in that moment, I realized after about a year of discovery in the cattle sector that across all of ag, we're just behind on technology. And part of this piece of technology is to help folks get a better value, more asset to their actual animal base through the use of artificial intelligence. We see it as a critical piece of infrastructure, critical piece of defense, and heck, we all need to be shaking the hands of people who grow our food.
And tell me, you mentioned a lot of different types of operations that people can use this on. Is there an area where it's most used? We're here in Illinois and Iowa. Do people use it around here yet, or is it newer to this area?
Yes, man, we got plenty of folks in Illinois that use this thing. Altogether, the product is most useful in pasture. So it works offline from a single photo, or you can take a video, which will need a little bit of internet. And altogether, it's been used to digitize the industry. We focus on the cow, calf, and seed stock sector. It works the best in seed stock cattle, pure genetic cattle. Cow calf is in the second best, and then it also operates in feed yards and stocker backgrounders. But if you try to use it in a sale barn, you might have a little trouble.
Well, that's good to know. Do you have any number of downloads? I mean, I know it's a newer soft launch, but how many people are using it today?
Yes, ma'am. We're up to roughly about 31,000 operations across the United States, which is just about 5% or 5% of the total market. So we are growing fast on a weekly basis. We're gaining roughly about 20% week over week. It seems like people love it. People want to engage with it. But again, what I always love to say is be patient. Artificial intelligence is as good as what you teach it. So the more y'all use it, the more people engage with it, the smarter it gets, the more helpful it will become.
And tell me, for farmers around here that might be interested in, talk us through again, how do they download it? Where do they go?
Yes, ma'am. Right now it's available only on the iPhone. So please go to the App Store, type in Frontiers Market. It'll pop up as your first indication of the logo. It looks like this. It's American flag, excuse me. A little bowl. You hit download, set up, sign up, and then you're off to the races.
And tell me, last question here, why are cattlemen using this? Why are they flocking to it? What is that feedback that you've heard?
The most critical piece is that when you're out in pasture and your cattle are looking sick or looking a little light or looking maybe they're moving a little too slow, weight is the first indicator for sickness. And so a lot of our folks on the cow-calf side use it for just that moniker alone, but other folks have been using it to understand when their calves are ready to go to market and when to be marketed. So we give them roughly within 96, sometimes 98% accuracy, which means that on a 600-pound calf, you're only off by about 20 pounds. And so with that kind of information, you can go and market and make better decisions.
Well, Evan, it was great talking with you today and really cool to hear more about this interesting technology that you're working on.
Thank you for having me, ma'am. I appreciate y'all, and thank you for spreading the good word in ag.
Well, we know we're in store for some hot temperatures. And one crop we all know too well in the Midwest can make things feel a bit warmer than it is. News 8's Marshawn Gunn tells us about the crop and why it's happening.
Corn. It's something that's woven its way into our own lives here in the Midwest. And now that corn is making temperatures that are already hot even a little bit warmer. It's something that we've come to know as corn sweat. Officially known as evapotranspiration, it's when water evaporates from plants like corn or soybeans, combining with other water molecules in the air, making things outside feel even worse. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, 1 acre of corn gives off up to 4,000 gallons of water each day during growing season.
During the daytime hours, it's just emitting a lot of water vapor and it's adding moisture to the lower boundary layer in the atmosphere. That translates to us as a little bit higher humidity than we probably would otherwise have in this region. In English, that means that it can get very, very humid at the surface and it can make us miserable.
We wanted to know, is there a reason we're feeling more corn sweat this year? The USDA says that in Iowa, farmers have or will plant 13.5 million acres of corn this year, up 4.7% from last year. And in Illinois, there's 11 million acres. Not as much as Iowa, but both of the top 2 producers of corn in the United States. Those increases may be why corn sweat is more apparent this year, or maybe it's just one of those years. At Unity Point, they've seen the result of corn sweat year in and year out, and they know the tips on how to avoid overheating because of the corn sweat.
Wearing light colored clothing, loose baggy clothing, even long sleeves, are better if they're nice and baggy and they can kind of keep some air circulation going.
With all the corn behind me, it's become normal, and now corn sweat is something that is possible every single year. In Moline, Marshawn Gunn, WQAD News 8.
While the heat is uncomfortable for us, corn sweat is actually an indicator of healthy crops. And we do have a weather impact alert through the first part of this week. And with that heat, we can have some negative impacts on animals that spend a lot of time outside, like those that live on farms. News 8's Emma Bucher takes us to a Scott County farm to show us how they're keeping animals cool.
When you're dealing with a heat wave of this intensity, animals like this guy here named Chaplin need special attention to stay cool. But what works for you and I might not work to keep them safe.
People don't understand how much effort goes into keeping them comfortable.
This isn't the first heat wave of the year, and it probably won't be the last. When it's this hot outside, your first instinct is to stay inside with the air conditioning. But that isn't the best case for most farm animals.
There are animals that, small birds, baby goats, baby sheep, that those big temperature changes are going to cause more of a problem than they are a help.
Farmers Sam Benson and Maggie Stafford run a free-range operation. She says the transition from cold to heat is too much for some animals to handle.
Just like condensation will build up if you leave a fridge door open. With the size of their lungs, you can even create condensation right in their chest cavity that can develop into pneumonia.
They have over 100 individual animals to take care of, and it's a full-time job. Benson says he's refilling water troughs 5 times a day, in addition to the automatic waterers.
I mean, you have to keep everything cool and watered and cared for in this weather, especially if they're ranging around like this and all over.
Stafford saying these multi-day heat waves already taking a toll on their farm, with the smallest number of ducklings and goslings born in years.
And anytime an animal is stressed, you're going to see changes in their behavior. You're going to see changes in their fertility, changes in their food and water consumption.
Keep an eye out for animals panting or moving slower than usual, and make sure they have ample shade to beat the heat. In Scott County, Emma Bucher, WQAD News 8.